Where's Pam Wilson? Oh, I thought you were seated. Okay, great. Make your topic stick. Pam Wilson.
It was the dream of any young corporate 20-something. I had been asked to give my first professional presentation. Yes. I had worked for weeks on my slides, and let me tell you, they were beautiful. I can't even tell you how excited I was to let the world know that as a production manager, I could create slides. As I entered the room confidently, I was ready. I began my presentation and I realized, to my chagrin, that I was standing right in front of my beautiful, magnificent creation. Well, I did the only thing I could think to do. I walked to the back of the room, click, turned off the slides, and gave my entire presentation in the dark from the back of the room. Good idea or bad idea? I know. Bad idea, right? Bad idea. How much do you think that audience got out of that presentation that day? Not much. But I didn't know. It wasn't until about 2 or 3 weeks later that a colleague caught me in the hallway and said, "Hey, we're starting a Toastmaster club and we think you should join." You think they were trying to tell me something? Fast forward about 20 years. And again, I'm giving a presentation, but this time I'm in Sydney, Australia. I'm on a platform and there's about 200 people in the audience, all wanting to know how to use their time more effectively. That time, the evaluations gushed about how much they got out of just a short 6 hours. But the question is, how did I get from here to there? Toastmasters, of course. Truly. There's really way more than I can tell you in the time that I have this morning, but I'm going to give you my top 2 tips to make your presentation stick. Now, when I first started working for SkillPath Seminars, my mentor, Vicki, said to me, "Now, Pam, you're going to want to say hello. You're going to want to say yes to everything they offer you, at least at first, because then they're going to know that you're available and that you will do whatever they ask you to do." Now, this was great advice, because within a very short time, I was way more busy than just about any other trainer there was, on the road doing all kinds of things. Now, the downside of that is that they gave me some pretty interesting topics to teach. And it turned out my favorite, now buckle up, are you ready? How to teach effective policies and procedures. True story. Has anybody here ever tried to teach something to an unwilling audience? Yeah. I very quickly learned that if you were in the policies and procedures class, you were probably from a company who needed a policy and procedure manual. And chances are you were an engineer or a writer or somebody who knew nothing about writing policies and procedures. And they said, "Hey, we're going to send you to our training because guess what? You get to write the policy manual." And people were not necessarily happy to be there. So how do you make a topic like that interesting and applicable to people? So here comes my hot tip number 1. Write this down. Make it fun. Make it fun. What? How in the world can you make policies and procedures fun? This is legal stuff here. Well, we started by making an agreement that in the big wide world of behavior, there is no such thing as common sense. Yes? No such thing. So we started with that. Then we rolled into writing a procedure for making toast. Think about it, there's a lot of steps to that. Try to teach it to your 7-year-old child, and you will soon know that there are a lot of steps to making toast. We decided we were going to laugh at all the people in our office who were dumb enough to not follow the rules, which probably included some of us in the room. Rebels, where are you? Where are you? Yes, exactly. Exactly. And it didn't hurt to make those rebels help them to kind of laugh at themselves during the day. So we made it fun. We spent the entire day laughing, and at the end of the day, I was one of the top salespeople for policies and procedures. It was my best class. I love policies and procedures. Make it fun. Now, way back before I started working for SkillPath, and way back before I got my music degree, I was working as a computer technician and a computer trainer in Herndon, down in Herndon, Virginia. And one of my favorite classes there was teaching Introduction to Microsoft Word. I know, it's crazy. Nerd, I'm a nerd. But what I loved about Microsoft Word was the ruler. I can see your faces that you're very excited about the ruler. Because here comes hot tip number 2. Hot tip number 2, write this down. Make it exciting. Yeah, they're like, what? The ruler? Exciting? Now, I became so good at teaching things about how to work the ruler, is that when I became a consultant, that became my audition lesson, because I was absolutely certain that I could teach you something about the ruler that you didn't know. Now, how many people here don't even know there is a ruler in Microsoft? Right? What is that thing? So if you've ever had text in Microsoft Word do weird things that you don't understand why it's doing that, then you need to know about the ruler, right? So we learned about indents and tabs and how to change the line spacing. It was exciting because my favorite line was, but wait, there's more. And I got so excited about the ruler that guess what? The people in the class couldn't help but get excited about the ruler. Who here has kids? Try to teach them to wash the dishes, clean the bathroom, right? Make a game of it. Get excited. Guess what you get to do this morning? You get to clean the bathroom. So hot tip number 1 is make it fun. Hot tip number 2 is make it exciting. All right, you want a bonus hot tip?
Yeah.
All right, here's a bonus hot tip. But see, you know this one already because you're Toastmasters. The bonus hot tip is in order to make any topic stick, tell stories. Tell your stories. Everybody here has stories. We were talking about that at the table. Everybody here has stories, so tell your stories. That's really how you make the topic stick. And that's really how I got from giving a presentation in the dark, in the back of the room, to presenting on a platform to 200 people in Sydney, Australia. And Toastmasters didn't hurt along the way. So with those few tips, you can make your topic stick. You're Madam Contest Master.
The Sergeant at Arms will now escort the contestants outside, and I will